Good evening, YouTube. Trailer Joe here. I wanted to talk to you about my Engelhard silver collection today. As you see, I have 6 pieces here, 6 ounces of Engelhard silver. But what I really wanted to talk to you about is a little history of Engelhard Corporation, which started in Island, New Jersey and ended up in Menlo Park, New Jersey. I also want to talk to you about a gentleman named Roy, who was formerly my boss and worked specifically with Engelhard. Not just Engelhard Corporation, but the Charles Engelhard. You see, my boss Roy was, in fact, Engelhard's bodyguard. And very interesting time when I started working for my boss Roy. It was the early 80s. He already spent 16 years at Engelhard. Engelhard was towards the end of the corporation. And he comes from a very interesting background, my boss Roy. He was a commando in the British Army. Grew up during World War II. I guess his job during World War II is to collect the bombs that never blew up, the small ones, and that was one of his jobs during that time. Grew up generally poor, then joined the Army in Great Britain, and then became Charles Engelhard's bodyguard. For 16 years he spent there. Me being new to anything, when I started working with Roy, I asked him, what was Engelhard? He goes, what? I said, what did Engelhard do? He goes, they made precious metals like silver, gold. I said, okay, very interesting. And he spent a lot of time with Mr. Engelhard. The company was brought out in 2006 for $5 billion from BASF Chemical Corporation, in a German chemical corporation. They bought them for $5 billion. At one time they changed the name of Engelhard Minerals and Chemical Corporations. That's why you see EMCC on some of the Engelhard coins. Here I have the prospectors. I have 1986, 1987 prospector. As you see, the design here is different. It's the E, the big E on this one, as opposed to the eagle on the later versions of the prospector. 1982, 83, 84, 85, 86, and 87, that's when they made the prospector. A lot of people do like Engelhard Industries silver bars, which there's quite a bit of different bars out there. Quite a different things. I talked to you in an earlier video about where I came from, why I started collecting silver, how I'm to this point now to even get the silver. I told you I started collecting the dollar coins. As a matter of fact, since my last video, I probably added another $80 in dollar coins to this stack here. They're not real gold, but to me they're gold, because it means trading them in for silver someday. Getting back to Roy, my boss, guy was impeccable. Guy was very, very smart man. Learned a lot from him. I did work in the security industry for a long time. He did teach me a lot of different things. Impeccable dresser, always shoes shined. You know, the boots with the zipper on the side. I think you're familiar with that. Well shined. Always in a suit, tie, very neat. Close cropped hair. I guess people would call that a razor cut today, but very good man. Unfortunately, about 10-15, I guess it's about more than 10 years ago, he passed away. And you know, I got to talking to him when he was sick. He was still working for the company, and just shared some thoughts with him about different things. But that's why Engelhard means a lot to me. I do collect this stuff. A lot of people do collect it. Shout out to Big Stack McGee. He shows his Engelhard collection, which is a very nice collection. But I just wanted to get you to the thoughts that there was a Charles Engelhard, and there was a bodyguard named Roy, and he was my boss. And you know, it's just not a name. It's just not a piece of silver. It is a person's name. It was a company. And he says it was a very well run company. It was almost like a large family, the company. So Engelhard silver, the prospector, I want to get the 1982 and 83 Prospector one day. By the way, this is $21. I guess that's what spot is today almost. What is it, 20.60 something today? Spot price. So I give you $21 here. These are the presidential ones. Again, I save them in my Nescafe Classic cup. Once I get filled, I fill another jar up. I had the $2 bills also. But again, Engelhard at the top, I guess they were making about $26 million, $28 million a year just in their silver business. As a matter of fact, probably you don't know this, they made the first catalytic converter ever produced. So they were on to that also. Again, it's the company was a great company. It was a Fortune 500 company at one time. One of the larger companies in the United States. So they did a lot of different things. But again, I think, you know, I wanted to just reflect on my boss Roy and what he did for me. Now, we didn't always agree. We begged to disagree. He always wanted to know why I only worked 8 hours and he worked 16 hours. And I said, I can get done what I do in 8 hours and you take 16 hours because you're smoking and drinking coffee all the time. We used to kid around like that. But anyway, he was generally a good man. And again, Boy Scout leader, all that type of stuff. Always carried a switchblade in his pocket. So I guess that's a tribute to all you guys that use switchblades to open up your boxes when you're unboxing things. Anyway, so here's to the Prospector. Here's to the 1 ounce silver bar. And again, here's to my boss Roy. As a matter of fact, he used to ride a motorcycle and he gave me his motorcycle helmet, which was like a police type helmet with the leather coming down. And I still have it to this day. I don't think I'll ever get rid of that helmet. It always reminds me of him. And he rode his motorcycle to work every day for about 20 years. So that's it for now. And remember, you know, guys, keep snacking. Don't get yourself into debt. You know, I wouldn't have this money if I still had the credit cards and all those problems I had in the past. You know, so it's nice to have my own money. When I hear somebody say, hey, I'm going to buy silver with a credit card, hey, it sounds like a great idea, but in the end, it's really not a great idea because you really don't own it. Okay? Until you pay for it. So it's got to get paid sooner or later. Alright, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I sure did. I sure enjoyed my Engelhard silver. Sure enjoyed working with my boss Roy. Again, who was the bodyguard for Mr. Engelhard, Charles Engelhard. Thank you. Subscribe. Give me some thoughts back, please. Some feedback. If you like this video. Gonna make some more. I don't know what my next thought's gonna be. Probably gonna be about hike. Thank you.